Hi everyone, and welcome back, and welcome to today's unboxing, which is going to be a look at what's in the box for the Warhammer 40,000 Hexfire release. I received my copy on Saturday. It's Sunday today. I didn't review it when I received it simply because I had company. I had friends around. We were doing some other gaming systems and then playing Cards Against Humanity until stupid o'clock in the morning. So now that they've all gone, I'm going to quickly just do this before I go to bed. So Hexfire box, I have already had a look in it, so I will admit to that. But having a quick look on the back, this is what you're getting inside. Obviously, you're getting a 10-man strike squad, a Nemesis Dreadnought, Castellan Crow. You're also getting an Infernal Master, 10 Tzaangors, a Zangle shaman, and 5 scarab terminators. Now, the box itself is slightly thicker than the box that you got with Piety and Pain, and that's because essentially there are more minis or bigger minis in this. Whereas you got a Palatine and an Exorcist and 5 Sisters Retributors on the Imperium side. With this, you're getting obviously Castellan Crow, the 10 Grey Knight Marines, and the Dreadnought, and I mean that's 8 sprues on their own. Plus, you've then got 10 Tzaangors, which is 2 sets of the same. You've got the Scarab Terminators, which is a set. You've then got the Shaman, which comes on 2 small sprues, and then the upgrade sprues for the Tzaangors, which is 2, and the new Infernal Master. So let's have a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the new sculpts for Castellan Crow and the Infernal Master right until last, and we'll dig out the plastic because you get, as they have been doing, a nice piece of card to protect your booklet, your gaming booklet, and the instruction booklet underneath. But when you flip this over, what you get is a nice piece of artwork, which is basically the box artwork but rendered in a card format, so that if you so wished you could put it in a clip frame and hang it. I think it's quite nice. I don't know if I'm going to hang it, but I may frame it and just hang it maybe in the hallway or something like that. But the artwork, absolutely gorgeous. I will just quickly show you the decal sheet. And you've got Word Bearers, Thousand Sons, Black Legion, Alpha Legion, Iron Warriors, Night Lords on this one decal sheet. Basically, Chaos Space Marine transfer sheet. So, Black Legion here, Alpha Legion here. You've then got Iron Warriors, which are the Silver Skulls. You've then got Thousand Sons, which is the Serpentine Dragon eating its tail, basically. You've then got Word Bearers. You've got some what appear to be common iconography, potentially. And then these are the Night Lords decals. So it's quite a nice sheet. There's a lot on there. Well worth it. And obviously, as standard, you get your bases for your minis, for the troops choices, and then there's the big base for the Dreadnought. Okay, so let's have a look at the booklets. Let's have a look at the destruction book. Bog standard fare, and as per usual, the Imperium miniatures are you start with. So you start with Castle and Crow, then you go on to your Dreadnought, and once you've assembled your Dreadnought, you then go on to the Strike Squad or Purifier Squad or Purgation Squad or Interceptor Squad. Now whichever one you want to make, because obviously with the Strike Squad you can make 4 different squads if you so choose. So obviously if you're playing the game out of the box you would have Purifiers, but if you so wanted you could have 5 Purifiers and 5 Strike, or 5 Purifiers and 5 Purgation, you know, or 5 Purgation and 5 Interceptor Squad, depending on what you want to do. So straight into obviously the building for all the Imperium stuff, and then we get into the Thousand Suns. Now with the Thousand Suns we start off with their Infernal Master, then the Tzaangor Shaman, and then the Scarab Occult Terminators, and then after the Terminators it goes into the Tzaangors. Now I'm going to be keeping the Occult Terminators and the Infernal Master. I'm not really interested in the Tzaangors, so I have put them up on eBay for sale. So that's the Shaman, the 10 Tzaangors and the 2 upgrade sprues are on eBay. So we come to the Hexfire gaming booklet. Again, another reprint of the box artwork on the front cover of the booklet. You get your introduction, brief synopsis, history of what the campaign is. Then we go into the Grey Knights with a rendition of Castle and Crow on one side, and then the Thousand Suns with the Infernal Master on the other side. Again, a little bit more history and background, bloodshed and deceit. And we've got some really nice artwork in here again, as usual. I'm particularly liking some of the, let's turn that way, particularly liking some of the Scarab Occult Terminator artwork. And as per usual, you will get a showcase of all the miniatures. Now, the Grey Knights Nemesis Dreadnought, it's a great model. It's just a shame that it only comes pretty much in this one pose if you build it straight out of the box, which is, you know, stood upright with 2 arms just braced to the sides. I've actually built a Dreadnought previously and I was able to put it in a more dynamic pose, as if it was stepping forward, leading with its weapon arm, and then its sword arm was behind it, coming in for a swing. Castle and Crow's looking great, and then obviously the Thousand Suns, and a couple of pictures there. So it then goes into the rules for the game, and within this, with the Theatre of War Hex and Fast, it gives you things like atmospheric effects, mysterious objectives and terrain rules. You then go into your missions. So the first one is Arcane Ambush. The Grey Knights will deploy in the centre of the board, and then Thousand Suns have an A and B deployment on the short table edges. The Fates Collide is mission 2, and the setup for that is Thousand Suns on one long edge and Grey Knights on the other long edge. Basically, those look to be the only 2 missions within the book. It then goes into what the Grey Knight's victory will be and Thousand Suns victory. Now, Grey Knight's Crusade, so rules, battle traits, etc. for the Crusade for the Grey Knights, and Thousand Suns Crusade. And then we get into the data sheets. So there's a page for the weapon profiles. Up first on the data sheets is the Infernal Master. Now his stat line is movement 6, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 4, attack 4, leadership 9, and saving throw is 3+. He is armed with a 12-inch, an Infernal bolt pistol, which is range 12-inch, pistol 1, strength 4, AP -2, damage 1, and force stave, which is melee. It's +3 to strength, -1 AP, and damage is D3. Psyker. This model can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in your psychic phase and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in your opponent's psychic phase. It knows Smite and 1 psychic power from the Disciple of Change, or the Discipline of Change, or Discipline of Vengeance. See Codex Thousand Suns. You then have the Tzaangors, the Tzaangor Shaman, and the Scarab Occult Terminators. Then, moving on to the Imperium, you have Castellan Crow. Now, Castellan Crow is movement 6, weapon skill +2, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 5, attacks 6, leadership 8, save is 2+. His Stormbolter is 24-inch range, rapid fire 2, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. Now, the Black Blade of Antwer is melee, +1 strength, -3 AP, damage is 2. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified roll of 6 inflicts D3 mortal wounds on the target, in addition to any normal damage. So there you go. And being a Grey Knight, he's obviously a Psyker, so he can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in your psychic phase and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in your opponent's psychic phase. It knows Smite, 1 psychic power from the Dominus discipline, and Purifying Flame from the Santic discipline. See Codex Grey Knights. And then we get into the squads that are for the game. So you've got your Purifier squad and you've got your Nemesis Dreadnought. Now, interestingly enough, which isn't done for the Thousand Suns, we also have additional data sheets for Grand Master in Nemesis Dreadnought. Excuse me. The Strike Squad, the Interceptor Squad, and the Purgation Squad. And that's basically the gameplay booklet for Hexfire. So let's have a quick look at some of the minis. So let's have a look at the Tzaangor Shaman first. It comes on 2 sprues, so his what's the word I'm looking for? Hovering disc is basically on 1 sprue, and it looks like you have, this is the underneath, and then these 2 pieces appear to go on top, and then it appears to be held up on the base plate by these swirls. Looking at the Shaman himself, So here's his staff. His staff, and the top of the staff is there. His cloak, some feathers for decoration, I assume. He's got his ram's head, by the look of it. That's his back. And the torso looks like that. Excuse me. Right, Tzaangors. So you get these two sprues are repeated. So you get basically 2 of these. Your Tzaangors on the sprue are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got your shields as well as different head options and different melee weapon options. Now, the upgrade sprues for the Tzaangors, basically you get 5 chainswords and 5 pistols. Basically on the upgrade sprue, and that's your lot really. So you get 2 of these, and you get 2 of these. Now, Scarab Occult Terminators. And this is quite a nice sprue. This reminds me of the Cataphracti Terminator style, or it could even be, is it the Tartarus, I believe? So looking at this, you obviously get your 5 body fronts, you've got your 5 body rears, you then get these little carapace, ornamental carapaces which go on the front before you pop in the Terminator heads. Plenty of arms and details for those, and the legs themselves appear to come as one whole leg and the lower abdomen, and then you attach the second leg into position. But this looks quite nice. The Scarab Occult Terminator Sergeant, or whatever he is the occult leader, has a separate carapace which has some bladed tusks coming out on it, and obviously a cloaked back and a separate carapace there. It also appears that you can put on a different carapace for that with what appears to be flowing, I don't know what you would call these, robes of office, maybe, something like that. I don't know what the technical term would be for these 2 particular vestments, something like that. You've also got the nicely curved swords that they use, as well as the twin stormbolters, twin link stormbolter, or whatever it is. And it looks like you get some sort of not autocannon, but assault gun, Reaper assault gun or something like that. So that, and I'm not too sure what this would be here. Interesting. Right. Scarabs. Now, here is the Nemesis Dreadnought baby carrier. And, you know, it comes in multiple parts. The legs come in multiple parts. The arms in multiple parts, you know, left and right parts. You have your Thunderhammer. You have the Nemesis Fourth Sword, which I think looks really nice with the stylized eye in the center of it, which is absolutely gorgeous. You can fit it with a heavy flamer and a heavy side cannon, I think it is. Your Terminator parts are here. So you've got the legs, the back of the torso, the arms, the shoulder pads or shoulder pauldrons, and where's the front torso? There's the front torso, the head and other bits. Now, I may do a build video because I'll show you what I did when I built mine a few years ago. And one of the things that I had to consider was, as I moved one leg forward and one leg back, I had to shorten. So the Dreadnought, I had one of the Dreadnought legs forward and one of the Dreadnought legs back, as if it was taking a step into the swing of the sword. And I had to just trim a tiny fraction of this portion of the leg to lift it up on the leg that was stepping forward. So as I say, I may do a build video for the Nemesis Dreadnought and how I posed it all those years ago to get a slightly more dynamic action pose. And then you get 2 sprues, the same for your strike squad or purify squad or purgation squad or interceptor squad. So on this you get everything that you need. You get your 5 interceptor backpacks. These are I believe it's a 1 move teleportation thing, 1 and done teleportation across the battlefield. You obviously get your other backpacks. You get all your falchions, you get your Nemesis Force halberds, you get your Force swords or power swords, you get your flamer, you get your silencers, and the side cannon, I believe. Now, I can't remember which one is which one's the silencer and which one's the side cannon. But yeah, there's loads on here. Obviously you can choose them to be helmeted or not. I particularly like the little severed demon head being held in one hand. There's also one of the Force swords is done where the Grey Knight is stood holding the sword by the hilt, and it's basically stabbed into a demon head which is on the ground, which is quite nice. Now again, I did a little bit of jigging and cutting and sticking to change one of these Force halberds. I swapped it around from being held up in the air with the blade above the shoulder to the blade being pointed at the ground as if it was about to strike a foe that was prone on the ground. So again, I may do a build video for some of the Grey Knights just to show how I did that. But yeah, other than that, it's not a bad kit. It's one that came out what, about 2010? Where's the date on the Games Workshop? 2010. Yeah. So yeah, it's only 11 years old. So it's new compared to certainly some of the other sprues that are out there. Now for the good bits. Let's have a look at our Infernal Master. So Infernal Master, I think it's just bog standard rubric marine power armor. Yeah, just bog standard power armor for this wean. So as I understand it, it's a brand new sculpt, not seen before. We've got a nice cloak on the back. The force staff, and we've got some swirling effects around, and we've got obviously some sort of Zinchi, a kind of demon. I have seen these around. I don't know what they're called though, unfortunately. And then obviously on the backpack you have some kind of like mystic swirly bits as well. But that's the occult Infernal Master. There's quite a few bits to him. I can't see a second head, so it doesn't look like you have a choice of heads, which is unfortunate, but hey, there you go. And there isn't a choice of arms either, by the look of it. There's one, there's two. I can't see another arm. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, posability, very limited on this one. It's not brilliant. It's not the worst, but it's not brilliant. And Castellan Crow. So Castellan Crow, at least you get a head option on this one. So quite a nice base. So two-part base by the look of it, with this piece going on there, part of the 8-pronged star. Torso front, torso rear. Now his backpack has his banner attached to it, and I don't know if you can see the detail on the banner there. Now I have to admit, as I've said in previous videos that I've done, I'm not a big lover of the banner poles attached to the backpacks, so quite honestly I am probably going to potentially give him, I'm either going to clip this off, and there's a purity seal which just comes down there, so that will need trimming and sorting out, or I might just give him a completely different backpack, a spare backpack. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of banner poles, so he's not going to have it. My previous model of Crow, I didn't put it on there. He's not going to have this, to be quite honest. I'm not necessarily a massive fan of all these special effects on like the swords, but looking at that, it may be a little bit too difficult to remove this without potentially damaging the intricate rune work up the centre of the sword. So again, I may very well have to leave this on, but hey, there you go. So that's Hexfire in a nutshell. That's what you get. It's a good value kit. I believe that some people have worked it out, and you get a reasonable saving. From what I could see, the scarab occult terminators, I forget the price now, but I know the Tzaangors are, I think for a pack of 10 are £27.5. The shaman is £16. The Infernal Master, I mean, judging on some of the other releases that I've seen, we could be looking at between 20 and 25 quid. The same with Castell and Crow, between 20 and 25 quid. You know what Games Workshop are like. So yeah, you know, the Dreadnought is £37.50, I believe, if I remember rightly. So not a bad set. You get plenty in there. It's nice, and you know, it's a great addition if you're just looking for something to build up either one of the forces. You know, there's a lot of people that have turned around and said it would have been nice if we could have had some rubric marines instead of Tzaangors in with the Thousand Suns. But hey, and I think it's a bit of a shame that from what I've seen reported by other channels who have had a sticky beak at the codex for Thousand Suns, I believe it looks like Zangles are going to be included in the combat patrol box, so probably not the best mix. A lot of people are saying that, again, that they would have preferred to have seen rubric marines rather than Zangles, but hey, there you go. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, I may very well do a build video for the Dreadnought to show you how I make it more dynamic, as well as just sharing some hints and tips for just making some of the Strike Squad Grey Knights look a little bit more dynamic, changing the weapons around to make them look like they are you know, piercing people, killing people that are prone on the ground and that sort of thing. And hopefully you'll join me next time. All right, take care. Bye.